better player. So what I have for you today is 5 tips that if you implement them, you will have more success on the field. Now, if you're a beginner, I want you to take these ideas and make them part of your game. You're gonna have a lot more success without much experience. And if you're an advanced player, I want you to be very honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I actually doing these things when I play, or do I need to add them to my game? So I have 5 tips for you. I'm gonna start defensively and then move into the offensive ideas. The first thing I wanna talk about is tracking back. Okay, everyone loves to attack. We're on the ball, we're moving forward, everything's dandy, and then we lose the ball. For some reason, most of us, when this happens, instead of tracking back, helping our team defensively, we shut off, especially as attackers. Okay, we think that we're attackers, our job is to attack, the defender's job is to defend. No, that's not true. Everyone on the team plays both sides of the game. Defenders need to attack, attackers need to defend. So when you lose the ball, I want you to be the first person working back to get it, okay? So let's say you're moving forward and we play a pass in here and somehow it gets stripped and the other team starts attacking, okay? Don't jog back and hope that your teammates are going to be able to handle it on their own. Okay, get back, sprint back, track back, get behind the ball, help your teammates out. Track back early. Okay, I know a lot of times you've probably experienced this. It happens in a game, maybe happens in a scrimmage. Let's say you have the ball here and you lose the ball and the ball gets played forward, and instead of tracking back early, we slowly jog back and the other team gets a chance to score and we're slowly jogging back, and maybe you think they're going to score, they don't even score. The goalie makes a good save and it comes out, or your defenders get back and they give you more time to defend. But because you took so long to get back, you were taking your time, you really didn't commit to tracking back and helping your team out, they got 2-3 chances to score and they ended up putting the ball in the net. And if when you lost the ball, you just said, okay, I lost the ball, that's okay, I'm gonna get back now, I'm gonna make up for it, got behind the ball, did your job, got there early, sprinted back, you would have saved yourself the humiliation of getting scored on, and you would have helped out your team. So when you lose that ball, make sure you're the first one working back. When you need to get back early. A lot of times if you're playing as a fullback, overlapping here, okay, and the ball gets lost, track back early. Yes, there are times when you don't necessarily need to track back. Maybe you're playing as that high striker and we do need an outlet up there, okay? We don't want everyone to come back, because then when we do win the ball, we have no one to play into here, okay? So if you're a striker and you lose the ball here, try to get it back right away. If for some reason the ball gets played up into here, you don't need to always come all the way back. If your teammates are out of position, let's say they're back here, then yes, you may need to cover for them. Okay, but if you're playing as that high striker, that may be one of the times where it's okay not to track back, and instead think about finding some open space so you can be an outlet for your teammates when they do win possession of the ball. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, let's organize a team again here. The next thing I want to talk about is, I talk about this one lots, but it's so huge, and it will make your life so much easier. You'll be such a better defender if you just implement this, is closing early or pressuring with more intensity. Okay, so when the ball is played into this player, say we're the blue team defending, I don't want to give him time to turn. I want to be able to read the play, so when the ball's there, I'm closing right away, okay? So that's an example where the ball is played into him and he's got his back turned to you. You want to be right touch tight on him. Force him to play backwards, force him to have a bad touch, force him to make a mistake, and hopefully you can win the ball, or your teammates can come and double up and we can win the ball, okay? But the biggest thing is that you're pressuring him. You're not giving him any time to play. You're forcing him to make mistakes, because if he receives the ball here and he has time, he can get his head up, he can dribble into space, he can do what he wants, then he has control. But if you pressure him right away as soon as he gets the ball, then you are controlling the pace of the play. You're controlling what he does. Okay, on the other side, so that's when you're pressuring the ball as he's being received. On the other side of things, let's say the ball is getting played into space here, okay? Yes, I want to pressure him early. I want to force him to either kick the ball up the field or have a bad touch. Hopefully I can win it here. But a lot of times what happens is the ball gets played into here and we're slowly jogging towards him. Okay, there's no real intention, there's no intensity, there's no purpose. I don't want to win the ball back. I don't want to screw up. So instead, I want to sprint at there. Yes, you need to be a little more cautious when you get closer, because if you're coming in at full speed, all it takes is a little touch and he'll get by you. But close that big gap. Close this distance down quickly. Now you can get a little more on your toes, a little closer to the ground so you can react. And if he goes, you try to stay in front of him, okay? But just get in the habit of pressuring. If the ball is close to you, pressure that ball, okay? Pressure that ball. Let's put more intensity in our defending. Be more intense when you're defending. Put more pressure on the ball. You're going to win the ball back more. You're going to force the other team to make more mistakes. And just think about that. Experiment with it in your practices, in your games. Say, okay, today in practice, I'm going to pressure these opponents so bad. I'm going to make them screw up every time they get it. Sometimes they might slip past you, okay, but that's part of the learning process. You're going to learn when to go in quickly and when to go in more cautiously. Usually when this guy's running at you at speed, I don't want to sprint straight at him because all it takes is a little touch, okay? When he's coming at speed, I'm just going to be light on my toes, try to stay in front of him as he moves with the ball. But when that guy has his back to me, okay, that's when you want to get really close and force him backwards. So think about that. I know I'm talking a lot. Hopefully you got the main idea there, which is to pressure the ball quickly. Don't give your opponents time to play. Be a real pain in their ass. All right, so now I want to talk offensively. And the first idea, especially as a beginner player, is move the ball quicker, okay? Play quicker. So how do you play quicker? You play with fewer touches. I know it's nice when we get on the ball. Okay, let's say we're the red team going this way. It's nice when we get on the ball. We want to take all these touches, especially if you're a technically skilled player. You always want to take these touches on the ball, okay? But I encourage you to try to play with fewer touches. And I know it sucks when you're on a team and you're playing quick, you're always playing 2, 3 touch, 1 touch, and everyone else seems to be playing 5, 6, 7 touch. It really sucks, but I tell you this, you can dictate the pace, you can change the way your teammates play if you play quicker and you're always demanding the ball. Say, yes, give it to me, play quicker, playing these little triangles, 2 touch, 1 touch football, okay? Now, saying that, you don't always have to play at super speed, but we have to move the ball quickly. The more touches you take on the ball, the easier you are to defend because no one can move as fast as the ball. So if we move the ball, okay, it's very difficult for the opponents to keep up with it. They can't keep up with the speed of the ball. But if we're on the ball and we're taking 5, 6 touches, then yes, it's easy for them to defend because they can close us down and they can get numbers around the ball, okay? Now there are times when you do need to take multiple touches on the ball. I encourage you to take multiple touches when you have space to attack, okay? In an area like this, it's okay to take 3, 4, 5 touches if you're doing it with purpose. You're trying to get past a defender. And do it with speed. Don't just jog at him. Sprint at him with the ball, okay? Force him to defend you. Now, saying that, you don't always have to play 100 miles an hour. There are times when you need to control the pace of the game, the tempo of the game, and slow things down, okay? But you still do that with 2 touches. I may not be attacking with speed and urgency all the time, but I'm moving the ball with 2 touches and we're forcing the other team to move. We're forcing them to shift, okay? And we just keep that ball moving, 1, 2 touch, and then when we find our space, yes, we exploit with speed and play quickly, attack with urgency. Okay, so think about that. Think about playing with fewer touches, making quicker decisions, and just moving the ball faster. You're not always attacking with speed, but you're at least moving the ball quickly. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is moving with purpose. So in a previous video I talked about off the ball movement, and I talked about that off the ball movement, what you do off the ball is actually more important than what you do on the ball. So what are you doing after you play your pass? Because most players, they play their pass and then they're standing still. They're watching their pass. They're admiring their pass. Oh, what a great pass. No, as soon as you pass, you have to move. Because what happens when you pass this ball? Okay, the defenders react. They're moving towards the ball. And if you are staying still, you're not helping your teammates out. Okay, when this guy gets the ball and no one else is moving for him, and he loses the ball, that's not necessarily his fault. It's his teammates' fault because they didn't move into space to give him an option to play. Okay, so I want you to think about moving more off the ball, trying to get into good positions off the ball. So as soon as I play, I'm coming to join, okay? Other players are moving into space. Other players are joining, overlapping, okay? So when I don't have the ball, what am I doing? First of all, as soon as you pass, you need to move into space. You don't always have to make this purposeful forward run, but you have to at least change the angle. So play into here, move into here. Hopefully someone's supporting there. But I want you to think about, okay, as soon as I make my pass, can I move to get it back? You watch professionals play, it's all give and goes, quick off the ball movement. And that's one of the best ways to watch what types of runs you should make is by watching professional players. Okay, as soon as they pass the ball, where do they go? What do they do? I guarantee you they're not standing still. They're either moving to support or they're making a forward run to get the ball back. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about, and this one's really important, especially if you're an attacker, and like I said, even defenders are attacker. I want you to take your shots when you have them. And I want you to develop this mindset of I want to create shots for myself. So as soon as I'm in these areas, you're always looking to take the defender on and get it half an inch so you can get that shot. The problem is most players are in these positions and they're thinking more about losing the ball, like, oh, I don't want to lose the ball, rather than, okay, I'm in a scoring opportunity here. I want to create an inch and get that shot off. So whenever you get these balls in these areas, first of all, you have to want to get into these areas. And then when you do get in these areas, you have to want to take that shot, okay? So don't be afraid to take shots. When you have the opportunity, take that shot. I would much rather you take the shot and miss than not take the shot at all, because there's value in that. You will learn, okay, I should have shot with this type of technique, or I should have focused more, I should have concentrated more, I should have aimed, I should have shot at a different area of the goal, okay? But just taking shots is gonna give you more confidence as long as you don't let other people get in your head when you miss a shot. Other people are gonna yell at you, they're gonna say, hey, why didn't you pass to me? They're gonna get frustrated with you. You need to block that out, because missing shots is part of your development. And I guarantee you, as long as you have that mindset and you keep practicing your shooting on your own time and you keep taking those shots when you get into this opportunity, then you're going to be a better goal scorer and a lot more goals are going to come in your way. On that note, there are times when you need to know, okay, I have 3 guys in front of me right now and they think I'm going to shoot, so my best option is